Part 3, let's go. Continue reading. It would bear thousands, and each measure of olives will yield 10 press of oil. And you will cleanse the earth from all oppression, from, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sins, from the ungodly and all the unclean. Though that is wrought upon the earth to destroy off the earth. And all the children of the men will become righteous, and all nations will offer adorance and will praise me, and all will worship me, and the earth will be cleansed from all defilement and all sins, and from all punishment, and from all torment, and from I will never again send them upon it from generations to generations forever. Glory be to God. I love that. Chapter 11. And in those days I will open the store chambers of blessings which are in the heavens, so as to send them down upon the earth over the works and labors of the children of men. And the truth and peace will be associated together throughout all the days of the world and throughout all generation of men. Glory be to God. Thank you, Lord. That's awesome. Chapter 12. Before these things enough was hidden, and no one of the children of the men knew where he was hidden, and where he dwelled, and what he had become of him. And his activities had to do with the watchers, and his days were with the holy ones. And I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majestic and the King of all the ages. And the watchers called me Enoch, the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, you scribe of righteousness, go declare the watchers of the heavens who have left the high heavens, the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as the children of earth do. They and have taken upon themselves wives. You have wronged great destruction on the earth, and you will have no peace nor forgiveness of sin. And in as much murder and beloved ones will they see, and over the destruction of their children will they lament, and will make supplications unto eternity. But mercy and peace will you not obtain. Glory be to God. And Enoch went and said, Azazel, you will have no peace. A several sentence has gone out against you to put you in bonds, and you will have no toleration nor request granted to you, because of the unrighteousness which you have taught, and because of all the works of the ungodliness, of the godliness and unrighteousness, and sins which you have shown to men. Then I will went and spoke to all together, and they were all afraid, and fearful and trembling seized them. And they bestowed me to draw up a petition for them that they might find forgiveness, and to read their petition in the presence of the Lord of the heavens. For from the point forward they could not speak, and him nor lift up their eyes heavens for shame of their sins for which they have been condemned. Then I wrote out their petition and their prayers in regards to their spirits and their deeds, individually And in regards of their request, they should have forgiveness and length. And I went off and sat down at the waters of the Dan in the land of Dan, to the south of the west of Hormuz, and I read their petition until I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and vision fell down upon me. And I saw visions of chastisements, and voice earned belittling me to tell it to the Son of Heaven, and repavement reprimand them. And when I awoke, I came unto them, and they were all sitting gathering together, weeping in Abozali, which is between Lebanon and Sinners, and their faces covered. And I recounted before them all the visions which I had seen in my sleep. And I began to speak the words of righteousness, and to reprimand the heavenly watchers. Who? Glory be to God. The Book of the Words, chapter 14. The Book of the Word of Righteousness and the reprimand of the eternal watchers is according to the command of the Holy Great One in that visions. I saw in my sleep what I now say with my tongue of flesh and with breath of my mouth, which the Great One has given to men to converse therewith the understanding of their heart. As he has created and given to man the power of understanding the words of wisdom, so he has created me also to give the power of reprimanding the watchers, the children of the heavens. I wrote out your petition, and in my vision it appeared like this, that your petition was not granted until you thought out all the days of eternity, and the judgment has been finally passed upon you. Your petition will not be granted until you, and from now on you will not ascend into heaven until all eternity. And in bond on the earth, the decree has gone out to bind you for all the days of the world, and that previously you will have. Glory be to God. Whew. Seen the destruction of your beloved sons, and you will have no pleasure in them, but they will fall before you by the sword, and your petition on their behalf will not be granted, nor yet your own, even though you weep and pray and seek all the words contained in the writing which I have written. And the vision showed to me like this: behold, in the vision cloud invite me, and the mist summons me, and the course of the stars and the lightning sped towards me, and the wand's vision caused me to fly and lift me upwards and bore me into heaven. I went in until I drew nigh to the wall which was built crystals and surrounding tongues of fire, and it began to afflict me. And I went into the tongues of fire and drew the night large house, and which have built crystals, and the wall of the house was like a tellison floor made of crystals, and its groundwork was of crystals. Its ceiling was like the path of the stars and the lightning, and between there was fiery cherubims, and their heavens were clear as water. A flaming fire surrounded the wall, and its point blazed with fire. And I entered into that house, and it was like a hot fire and cold as ice. There was no delight of life therefore. Fear covered me, and trembled, and got hold upon me. And I quaked and trembled, and fell onto my face. And I beheld a vision, and behold, that there was a second house, greater than the former, and the entire portal stood open before me. It was built of flames of fire, and in every respect it was excelled in splendor of magnificence and extended. I cannot describe to you its splendor and extent. It is a floor of fire, and above the lightning, the path, and the stars. Its ceiling was also flaming fire. I looked and saw there a lofty throne, and the piers was crystals, and wheels therefore of shining suns. There was a vision of cherubims, and from underneath the throne came steamy fire, flaming fire, so I could not look thereon. And the great glory sat throne, and his regiment stone, and brightly there the sun was whiter than any snow. None of the angels could enter, could behold his face, and the reason of the magnificence and the glory no flesh could behold. The flame fire was around him, and the great fire stood before him, and none around could draw nigh him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, and yet he needed to count no counsel, and he mostly holy ones were nigh to him, and he did not leave by night, nor depart from him. And until then I have been prostrated on my face, trembling. And the Lord called me in his own mouth, and he said to me, Come here, Enoch, and hear my words. And one of the holy ones came to me and waked me up, and he made me rise and approach the door. I bestowed my face downwards. Glory be to God. This is so good. He describing hell. That's what it sounded like to me. He said God was just out there looking at him like. He said he couldn't go in there. He said as soon as he felt it, he felt trembled, scared, shook, all the things that the enemy like to make you feel. So he was in spiritual prison. Glory be to God. We're going to have to end it here. All right. I gave y'all. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to read some more. I really enjoy reading this to you. And I hope you got some messages out of this. God is trying to help you. He's letting you know he has not forgotten you. He is here. But you got to do your part. Glory be to Jesus. Thank you for letting me read to you. Until we speak again, God bless. I love you. God love you. Shalom. Take care.